So you are now celebrating the 175th anniversary of the tube. Could you please provide us with the major stages of the history of the tube?
Yes, I'm delighted to do like this. Indeed, we are celebrating the 175th anniversary of the tube because in 1841 it was Mr. John Rand, an American painter, who invented the tube. And there's still today the patent. You can read the papers and you can see even what the tube looked like. And it was indeed for painting purposes. And this was also the reason that later on famous artists like Monet and Renoir, whoever, were able to make their paintures and to store the colors in a tube to make the colors to stay fresh. Mm-hmm.
And what have been some major stages in that history?
Well, after that, we have learned that one Austrian man called Carl Sarg invented a toothpaste tube. And a bit later, it was Colgate, a very well-known brand, who also started, I think it was since 1869, to develop their brand Imperium with toothpaste tubes. And in the very beginning, the tubes used to be out of lead and out of tin. And then in the 1950s, roundabout, the material changed to aluminium. And then later on, actually, the plastic tubes came, the extruded tubes, and then since 1960 or something like that, we have heard that the laminate tube production started. So the youngest child actually is from the today's tubes is the laminate tube, and the eldest one, if you like to say it like this, is the aluminium tube.
And the tube plays a major part for the cosmetics industry, and also in the field of tubes. The cosmetics tubes also play an important part, don't they?
Yes, if you look at all tube types, then we can say that the European Tube Manufacturers Association represents some 10 billion of tube production per year. And out of these 10 billion, we have some 40% aluminium tubes and then 30% each plastic tubes and laminate tubes. And if you then split it up by end users, then here you can indeed see that the cosmetics sector is the biggest one, being responsible for more than 40%, 40 to 50%, followed then by the pharmaceutical tubes. And on the third place, we have then the toothpaste tubes.
Which we also consider personal care, so we take a lion's share.
Yeah, some people say oral care. They differ it, and in our statistics we also differ it. But you are totally right. At the end of the day, it's also to make our teeth more beautiful and not only the skin or the hair. Mm-hmm.
And what currently are the major challenges that the industry is facing?
Well, there are a lot of mega trends that are around. One of them is internet shopping, another one is big data, and like we heard today also from some speakers in our Tube Congress, is that also the tubes are expected to carry informations and to be able to talk with smartphones, or if you are in the store and you look at the packaging, that then, for instance, there is a projection about the ingredients. So this is one big thing. The other thing is sustainability. So everybody is thinking about reusing materials or recycling materials or reducing weights, and not only regarding the tube, but perhaps also the closures. And this was also stressed today from the one big brand owner, that sustainability is a very big issue for the future as well. Then thirdly, certainly also the changing society. We have this aging society. We call them also silver society, or we have this nomadic attitude of many people. You have smaller households, people who like to live to go, coffee to go and different products to go, or who want to get their products delivered to their at home. So this is one third big trend, I think. A fourth trend then also is that the regulatory demands are getting higher and higher, meaning legislation like about cosmetics or also about pharma or food legislation are becoming more and more demanding, and as a supplier or as a producer of tubes, you have to be very well aware of what you take as lacquer or whatever, and of course you have to discuss with the brand owners, with the cosmetic industry companies, which specifications are there and what do they want to see, also to avoid migration of colors. There are so many issues around this whole complex of legislation and regulatory affairs.
And what opportunities is the industry currently facing?
Well, the opportunities we see is that the tube is really still going strong also after 175 years, because a tube is very convenient. It has very good price and performance ratio, actually, and it is easy to bear. It is unbreakable. You can close it. You can carry it with you. So there are a lot of things that are very much pro tube as a packaging, and packaging, generally speaking, is very important, I believe, because it makes goods available far away, and you can store also the products, and you have very good barrier properties to keep the ingredients fresh and to avoid some diffusion or distortion of the filling goods.
And what, according to you, have been the most innovative examples lately in the field of cosmetics?
Well, in the cosmetics, like we see it, we have a big issue of decoration when talking about the tubes, because when the consumer is at the point of sale, then very often it's the eyes that decide which tube is the most beautiful one, or also the haptics, if you touch the tube. But on the first place, I think it's the decoration. And here we see more and more for the moment, for instance, metallic effects coming. And we see also that you have more and more colors. You have a combination of silk screen printing, of hot stamping and offset printing. And if you look at laminate tubes, I was just talking about the plastic tubes, but if you look at laminate tubes, there you can work with foils, with webs, which are being printed in a flat situation. There you have even more possibilities regarding decoration issues. And therefore, probably also the laminate tube is getting more and more popular in the cosmetic industry.